Because this week is Generation Texas Week, we have talked to some NHS staff and students to gather valuable information that could help you during your college search. We're all comfortable with our high school lives right now, but a lot is going to change in just a few short years.
To me, college was a little bit different because you don't go to class every day. You only go to class every other day. And the expectation levels are a lot higher in college, so you have a lot more work that you have to do outside of school. And I don't feel you're babied quite as much. I just think it's a little faster paced than high school.
You just have a lot more freedom in college, a lot more responsibility, it feels like, to be the person getting your work done.
College is different from high school because in college you are responsible for everything. There's nobody waking you up. There's nobody telling you you have to go to sleep. It is you making all your decisions.
A lot more work, and that's academically. I mean, there's a lot more homework. The assignments are a lot bigger, but they're given in a more independent manner.
I went away to college, so college was a lot different for me because I didn't have my parents around. I was on my own. I lived in the dorm. I got to make my own decisions. Had a lot of new friends. Didn't have high school people around, so it was just a different atmosphere.
Choosing a college isn't easy for everyone. There are so many important factors to consider, such as location, size, and the area around the school. If you don't know what college you would like to attend, there are many different ways that could help lead you to a college that will best benefit you.
It was the only college I ever wanted to go to. I went to an A&M game in middle school and walked out of there saying, this is where I'm going to go, and it was the only college I even applied to.
Basically, went on a prospective student visits. Got to go to some classes. We stayed overnight in the dorm. Got to meet a lot of the professors. Got to sit in some of the classes, and it was just basically it was a small setting, not a whole lot of kids, and I came from a small high school, so it was just a good transition from a small high school into a small college. So.
That was almost like throwing a dart at a map. I am not kidding you. I just ended up picking Arizona because I wanted to go far away from home, and it was warm there, and I had some friends that were going there, and it ended up going down that way.
Had a couple scholarship offers, but it was close. It was close to one at home. Far enough to get away, but close enough to run home for mom's home cooking or to do some laundry or anything like that. So.
When looking for a college, you may stop and ask yourself if you even know what you want to do afterwards. Finding a major is something that only you can decide. If you don't know what you'd like to do, then stop and think about things that you enjoy and that keep you interested.
My major was actually exercise and sports science with a minor in education. Also had a minor in biology. It's kind of how it worked to go through as a teacher and a coach.
I loved medicine. I actually changed my major as a senior. I started off kinesiology where I was very athletic in high school. I wanted to go physical therapy, and then I decided to do more medical side, so I changed over to biomedical science because I got more background information for medical field. So.
Just had a great history professor and enjoyed the class, and he asked me, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I don't know, but I think all your stories are cool. And he said, okay, you're going to be a history teacher. So here I am.
I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I was in high school. That was actually probably the hardest thing for me, was choosing my major. I've always been really good at math, and I liked chemistry when I was in high school, and I really liked my chemistry teacher, and I said, I want to make money, so I chose chemical engineering.
Finding a college and a major that would benefit you isn't the easiest thing, but paying for college isn't easy either. College is expensive, and many people expect their parents to pay for college, but relying on your parents isn't always the best idea. There are many options that will help you as well as your parents pay for your education.
I paid for every bit of it on my own with school loans. Didn't have any help from my parents, so no excuse for not having money to go to school because there's always loans and stuff out there. I got some scholarships after I got to college based on financial need, and did not get financial aid, but I got another type of loan, so I paid for every bit of it on my own.
I got a few scholarships that paid for about a third of my tuition, and then I worked to pay for more of it, and then I also got student loans, which I'm still paying for now.
I'm still paying for my college. It was student loans. Parents couldn't afford it, and so we just took out student loans, and unfortunately it takes a long time to pay those off.
It was a combination of loans and academic scholarships, so loans are not a bad thing.
Despite the great amount of freedom as a college student, there's much more work and effort that has to be put into school. There is more studying and more time management that has to take place, which will only allow for a small amount of social time. Some people choose to eliminate their social life completely, while others make time for both schoolwork and their social life.
I think I had really good friends, and we were all in the same position, and so that helped a lot because we were all working our way through college. We were all doing homework together.
Well, unfortunately for me, I had to work my whole way through college, so I didn't have a lot of free time or a lot of social life, if you will. I went to classes, I did a little bit of studying, played some video games, watched some TV, but a lot of my free time, if you will, was actually at work. So
I realized I could have some fun and still be responsible at the same time, but that came with maturity.
You may have heard that college professors expect much more from their students than high school teachers do from their students. Right now, you might be successful because you have a very strong relationship with your teachers, but it may not be like that in college. Your relationships with your professors in college will most likely depend on the size of your school.
My advice would be don't treat it any differently than you would high school. You're going to have some large, like lecture hall, 250 people type classes, but you still need to have that relationship with the professor that you can go ask questions and get some information from him.
I mean, I would take advantage of the office hours that the professors, give you. There's a very small window where you get to talk to professors in college, and so if you take that time to go and meet them and be there during the office hours, you kind of get to know them, and that helps if you don't understand something.
If you go to a big four-year university, your A&Ms, your UTs, Baylors, it's a very just the professor teaches, and if you don't learn it, you don't learn it.
I think it kind of varies from professor to professor. Some of the humanities classes and the foreign language classes and stuff, it might be more of a one-on-one setting, but a lot of my classes were in engineering, and a lot of my science professors cared about the research, and so I didn't necessarily have a lot of face time with my professors because it was hard to get a hold of them.
Between choosing a major, studying, and paying your tuition, things can get extremely stressful. If you aren't careful, the stress can begin to control how well you do in college. If you don't know how to handle the stress, you may find different ways to relax in college.
I exercised a lot. I ran and I ran and I ran because that relieved a lot of the stress.
You have to find an outlet. You've got so many things with friends and fraternities and sororities, but you've got to find an outlet. Maybe it's extracurriculars, maybe it's intramural sports if you're not an athlete. Most of your colleges are going to have gyms and workout facilities, so go on the treadmill, run some stress off, but you have to have an outlet so that you don't get bogged down with all the work.
Honestly, same way you handle stress with anything, you just have to. It's about time management, and it's about blocking out time to study, blocking out time to be with friends, blocking out time to do your work.
Once people go on to college and find out that it's not what they expected, they tend to regret things that they did or did not do in high school. You can ask many teachers what they wish they would have done differently, but the answers are all very similar.
I would have, and seriously, I would have applied for more scholarships, and I would have worked harder to try to get my financial package together ahead of time. I cannot stress to you enough how much you need to take advantage of these counselors who have all of these opportunities available to tell you about.
Honestly, my grades were really good in high school, but I might have actually learned to study more in high school and take better notes in high school, because that's something that I feel I didn't really do, because I thought high school was very easy, and then that actually came back to bite me a little bit in college, because college was a lot more difficult, it was a lot faster, there was a lot more reading, a lot more studying on your own, whereas in high school I think your high school teachers help you out a little bit more.
I think I would have. I don't want this to sound bad, but I would have tried a little harder, my junior and senior year in high school, so I could have maybe got some scholarships and things like that. Communicated with my counselors a little more about scholarships that were out there, and so I still wouldn't be paying for college right now.
Right now, many seniors are going through the process of finding a college of their own. The process isn't easy, and many aren't doing it on their own. Most of these students have been inspired to go to college by someone or something specific in their life.
My brother pretty much inspired me to go to college. He's one of the first ones to go in my family, and so I just want to follow in his footsteps.
My dad is he knows a lot about cars, so he taught me everything he knows, and that kind of piqued my interest.
Probably my dad. He does a lot of cool things in his job.
Some seniors have decided where they're going to college. They have made the commitment to one school and will attend college next fall. Some had to research schools to find the one that best fits them, but others chose their schools for different reasons.
Well, I play softball, and they recruited me and offered me a scholarship. And I love the school anyway, so I decided to go there.
They have a top 10 program in the United States, so.
Finding a college that you know you're going to enjoy is important. When choosing your college, you want to stay positive and remind yourself that there are many colleges out there. Even though some seniors are confident about college and have been preparing all through high school, there are many things they know they aren't ready for.
Just meeting new people, some people you don't know, not having a lot of friends.
Probably that I'm gonna stop talking to all my friends and have to go make new friends. Probably not knowing very many people and just being on my own.
Despite having to meet new people and not knowing anyone, there are many positives to going to college. You are independent and there's a lot more freedom, but the experience is beyond great. You will make memories and build relationships that you will carry with you after you graduate. If you're an underclassman who is worried about college, then listen to the seniors and take their advice with you.
Take your time and just research colleges that you would like to go to, and just make the best decision and make a decision based on what you think about the college.
Find what interests you and get a job based on what you want to do, not based on what the money's going to get you.
And just to work hard in high school, and it'll pay off in the end.
If you're still unsure about college, be sure to get plenty of information and use your resources. The counselors will help direct you in the right path and are willing to help you search for information about schools and scholarships. Look for a college that interests you, find a degree you would like to major in, and go get it, Texans.